It gave me an empire of 1,000 sons, each one greater than the last. Come on! Finish me! You coward! The waste of time!
Welcome to MojoPlays, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 best Assassin's Creed endings.
Well, at least the family is all together. I'll get more wine.
For this list, we'll be looking at entries in this long-running series that have the most satisfying conclusions. These are based on the effectiveness of the climax and how the stories make use of the characters involved. Which Assassin's Creed ending had the biggest lasting impression on you? Let us know in the comments.
Before we begin, we publish new content all week long, so be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos.
Assassin's Creed Rogue.
Thank you again, Master Franklin. Now to find Charles and that damned box.
The main story of Rogue concludes with Shay Cormac foiling the assassin's plans to secure the Precursor Box, a piece of Eden containing enormous power. Shay assassinates Charles Dorian, leaving his son Arno an orphan and on his own path. Shay pledges his loyalty to the Order once more, signifying his character development from the innocent-minded assassin he once was to the ruthless Templar he'd now become. Out of all the Assassin's Creed games, Rogue is the one to end with a definitive victory for the Templars.
I am Shay Patrick Cormac, Templar of the Colonial, of the American Right.
However, it's a complex finale that completes Shay Cormac's journey while leading perfectly into Assassin's Creed Unity. Rogue has a dark outlook for fans who see the assassins as the good guys, but we can appreciate the series' attempt at offering a different perspective in this ending.
A war and a revolution have ended, and another is about to begin.
Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
I'm the one with a destiny. I will bring order to this world.
Due to its RPG structure, players can get multiple endings in Assassin's Creed Odyssey based on their choices. Still, a happy ending exists where the Eagle Bearer Cassandra is able to reconcile with her family. Following the battle with her corrupted brother Alexios, Cassandra and their mother are able to bring him back, forgiving him for his sins. We then watch the trio have dinner with Patriarch Nikolaos and his adopted son Stentor for what serves as a family reunion. After numerous conflicts with Alexios, Nikolaos, and Stentor, it's heartwarming to see the characters put all bad blood aside.
Well, at least the family is all together. I'll get more wine.
The modern-day story's conclusion also ends on a triumphant note. Cassandra passes the Staff of Hermes to Layla Hassan to grant the latter the source of her immortality. Odyssey ends with the hope that Layla might bring balance to the Assassin-Templar conflict after all. Assassin's Creed Origins.
No, Egyptian. Now you will bow before your god!
It was a foregone conclusion that Origins would end with the establishment of the Assassins, but its ending also brings protagonist Aya and Bayek the closure they deserved. Bayek successfully eliminates Flavius, the man responsible for the death of his son. Meanwhile, Aya assassinates Julius Caesar to prevent him from using other pieces of Eden to control the populace. She completes her turn into Amunet, a legendary assassin by present-day events.
I have killed Aya. I am now the Hidden One, known as Amunet.
Although the couple decides to separate, it makes sense given how their paths diverged over the course of the story. We see them move on and establish the Hidden Ones, which will go on to become the Assassin Brotherhood as we know it to be. Origins' present-day ending also sets up Layla Hassan to take on the mantle as the series lead for the next 2 games.
May your victories multiply.
Assassin's Creed 3.
Long have we waited for you to return. You have done as we asked. You have succeeded.
No, I have failed.
Assassin's Creed 3 leaves fans with a bittersweet ending, which is justified given the high stakes involved. After spending so many years seeking freedom, Connor Kenway gets a harsh dose of reality. Realizing his people will still be oppressed under the US's newfound government, Connor accepts that fighting for freedom is a never-ending battle. Still, the protagonist matures enough to let go of the anger that had controlled him all of his life. Desmond Miles' story also comes to a close, as he decides to sacrifice his life to save humanity from a catastrophic solar flare. It signals the end of the story that began with the original Assassin's Creed, layered with realistic themes in regard to the protagonist making peace with the hand that fate has dealt them. Assassin's Creed Syndicate.
Soon, the people will forget the generation on this terrace. The ruin you nearly wrought on London.
Quite a lot of the conflict in Assassin's Creed Syndicate comes from the turbulent relationship between siblings Evie and Jacob Frye. That's why the ending has a wholesome quality, since the brother-sister pair reconcile their differences to strengthen their bond. The two take on Templar Grandmaster Crawford Starrick to prevent him from claiming the piece of Eden known as the Shroud.
I am at the very top of the Order! You were Mr. Starrick.
Assassin's Creed Syndicate has a straightforward premise of good versus evil, but it's still fun to watch Jacob and Evie defy the odds to put an end to Starrick's nefarious plans. It's an uncomplicated ending that proves why the contrasting twins are a good team after all. With so many Assassin's Creed climactic moments taking on dire tones, it's refreshing to see Syndicate leave fans on a happy note.
And Miss Frye,
Ma'am?
should you want it? I saved you some cake.
Assassin's Creed.
I hear the hatred in your voice. Feel its heat. Let you go? Well, that would be unwise.
Why are you doing this?
The original game ends on a cliffhanger that leaves fans wanting more. Ancestral protagonist Altair confronts his master Al-Mualim, who reveals his allegiance to the Templars. In one of the most captivating boss fights of the series, Altair defeats Al-Mualim despite the latter's use of the Apple of Eden. This ties in directly to Desmond's modern-day storyline, as the Templars uncover the location of the pieces of Eden through his memories.
I can't. Yes, you can, Altair. But you won't.
We're treated to another twist when Desmond realizes he's now equipped with Altair's skills and can foresee the catastrophic solar flare he's fated to avert. With the Assassin Order also launching an effort to rescue Desmond, the first game's climax is filled with shock and intrigue. It pretty much guaranteed that fans would return for the sequel, establishing Assassin's Creed as a franchise for years to come.
We shouldn't leave anything to chance.
Very well. Ensure we have no further need of him, then kill him.
Fine.
Assassin's Creed Brotherhood.
On the 72nd day before the moment of awakening, you, birthed from our loins and the loins of our enemies, the end and the beginning, whom we abhor and honor.
Brotherhood bettered the original's cliffhanger with a conclusion with major ramifications. Ezio engages in an action-packed clash with his hated rival, Cesare Borgia. The protagonist finally gets vengeance for Borgia's siege of his home front, Monteriggioni, and the murder of his uncle Mario. Ezio's story doesn't fully come to an end, as Brotherhood plants the seeds for more to follow in Revelations. However, it's Desmond's present-day story that delivers on all fronts.
Stop, please.
You know very little. We must guide you.
After gaining the Apple of Eden once wielded by Ezio, Desmond is commanded by the Isu Juno to stab Lucy, the Templar mole in the assassin's ranks. With Desmond falling into a coma from the emotional trauma, we're left to ponder what all this means for the heroes going forward.
Go alone.
Assassin's Creed 2.
You never were.
Get it over with, then.
No.
The first game in the Ezio trilogy spans 2 decades, with Ezio hunting Templar Grandmaster Rodrigo Borgia, the person responsible for the execution of Ezio's family. It all comes to a head when Ezio battles Borgia to deny the latter entry into the Isu vault. The protagonist realizes he's overcome his desire for revenge, sparing Borgia's life.
Killing you won't bring my family back. I'm done.
While this serves as a satisfying end to Ezio's personal objective, his encounter with the Isu Minerva inside the vault sets up Desmond's story in the future. Assassin's Creed 2's ending brings clarity to fans over what Desmond, Ezio, and the Isu's purpose was supposed to be the entire time. With Ezio and Desmond's stories set to continue, the game is unique for bringing closures and cliffhangers at the same time.
Desmond, we have to go!
Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag.
You could join us in that cause.
I will, but only after I fix what I mangled back home.
For a game about pirates plundering and looking across the seas, Black Flag has a surprisingly emotional finale. Although protagonist Edward Kenway prevents the Templars from accessing the Isu Observatory, he realizes he's lost all his friends along the way. This revelation inspires Edward to make things right, meeting the daughter he'd left back home and promising to turn over a new leaf.
And if you learn to keep settled in one place for more than a week, you'll make a fine father too.
Black Flag's ending shows the value of free will that the assassins strive for, as Edward's experiences with the Order make him appreciate what's important in life. But it also carries a sense of melancholy by showing Hathan Kenway as a child, who we know will eventually turn to the Templars and become one of the franchise's biggest villains.
How's that sound?
Yes, please.
Okay, hush now.
Assassin's Creed Revelations.
Father, I do not understand. Why did you build a library if you did not intend to keep your books?
You should go.
As the longest-running main protagonist, Ezio deserved a happy ending, and Assassin's Creed Revelations does just that. Ezio rescues his love interest Sophia from the clutches of Prince Ahmed, also gaining access to the vault that contains Altair's remains. Realizing that there will always be conflict no matter how hard he tries, the protagonist retires as an assassin for good. Ezio's last hurrah relieves him from the burden of being a conduit of the message Desmond is meant to hear from the Isu.
I heard your name once before, Desmond. A long time ago. And now it lingers in my mind, like an image from an old dream.
Experiencing all of Ezio's memories also empowers Desmond to be free from his coma as he heads to the Grand Temple with his allies. Revelations is a worthy swan song to both Ezio and Altair, finishing their arcs in a satisfying fashion and setting up the conclusion for the Desmond saga in the following game. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, there's more where that came from.